Hello everybody and welcome to the Showcast, a series of candid conversations from the world of film brought to you by the Film Verdict and hosted by yours truly, Matt Micucci. And the topic of today's Showcast episode is Us, the TFV Network. In just a short period of time, what began as a podcast platform for conversations with top film professionals and creatives from around the world has grown into something much bigger. As the multimedia branch of the Film Verdict, one of the leading independent film review platforms in the world, and with a dedicated website, full distribution across major streaming platforms, and new formats like bite-sized audio reviews from film festivals and markets, we're expanding how we bring cinema to life through sound. As we look to the future, we're looking to place an even greater focus on partnerships with festivals, industry summits, sales agents, distributors, filmmakers, and beyond, and hopefully you. With on-location and remote recordings, global outreach, and cross-platform storytelling, we're keen on creating something that is valuable for the film industry at large through engaging audio content, written articles, and strong digital media marketing strategies. And here to share his thoughts on all of that is Mika, president and publisher of the Film Verdict. So fire up an Audiotini and listen to the audio waves as they fly through the air. This is the Showcast. Eric, it's good to finally have you on the Showcast.
Hey, thank you, Matt. It's good to hear your voice.
So, Eric, as we reflect on TFV Network, the Film Verdict podcast and multimedia platform, I'd just like to begin by asking you a simple question. What do you feel are the benefits of podcasting for the film industry?
Well, I guess there's a lot of different answers to that particular question, and it depends on what kind of platform you are, or what who you're actually addressing. The most important thing for us is that the Film Verdict is an international film community, a professional film community that reads our reviews from our critics that we have around the world on films that are not yet released. So really early in the cycle of film production. Most of the films are reviewed at film festivals such as Venice, Cannes, Sarajevo, even the Cairo film festivals, and this allows buyers in particular to help find the films that they need to acquire to put into the mainstream, or the art, if you will. So we have film critics like Alonso Dorado, who's in Los Angeles, Deborah Young, who's in Rome, others in Germany and throughout the world, whose mission is to review films primarily for international acquisition executives. And so what does the podcast do? I think the podcast brings more life to the review. We have the opportunity today, now thanks to you, Matt, to actually give voice to the review, to have the film director be able to talk to an audience and allow him or her to explain their position, why and how the film was shot in the way it was. So in many ways, it gives voice back to the industry, to those who are the filmmakers, to talk to the industry directly. And I think that's primarily the Film Verdict's point of view. It's good to have an independent critic. It is imperative and important to the industry. That's what we were founded upon, that the film industry, the film festivals need it, request it, want it, a platform like the Film Verdict. But now it's time that we continue to do what we do and expand and start allowing the filmmakers their own voice. And this could be done through the podcast.
And of course, what really sets TFV Network apart is how we lean into everything that makes podcasting such a unique and powerful medium. There's an intimacy and warmth to audio, a space for deep, thoughtful conversations, and behind-the-scenes insights that you just can't replicate on the written page, whether digital or print. Plus, the on-demand nature of podcasting means our content meets listeners exactly where they are, whether they're commuting, traveling between screenings, or tuning in from halfway around the world. So with that in mind, Eric, Here at TFV Network, we've put together dedicated partnership packages that offer rich multimedia coverage of film festivals and industry summits. Let's dive into that. What do you see as the value that podcasts and TFV Network specifically brings to these kinds of events?
Yeah, sure. So we'll run it through. I mean, so many great film festivals have their podcast divisions currently. So, for example, Doc Leipzig in Germany has a phenomenal podcast program. Why would you want to work with the Film Verdict? Is the question that we asked ourselves before we launched this. Independence, integrity is the two words really that come to mind. The Film Verdict is recognized as having this integrity as from their film critics and this independence that cannot be bought. So we believe that will transfer over to also the podcast. Having an independent podcast from the Film Verdict at a film festival will broaden the appeal of those interested in that particular film festival and those who want to explore more. In other words, if I say we're great, fantastic. That's, maybe 30-40% of the people will believe it. But if another person says we're great, well, gee whiz, 80-90% of the people will believe it. So that's the take on the film festivals. The second is we have a wider distribution. We have, as I've often said, we have up to an 80% open rate. I think our average open rate on our emails is about 42-43%. Many of these people who read the reviews will listen to the podcast. Many of them are AMPAS members, BAFTA members, voting members in the film industry, the grand majority are acquisition executives. So it really broadens the film festival's reach and appeal. And of course, the next level is, events. People spend a lot of time and effort and money in creating an event. And it sort of goes to the old expression, if a tree falls in a forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make noise? And many events, especially around Europe, are brilliant. But, do they make the noise? Do they, is it heard, around the world? And again, I think the Film Verdict, with its integrity, its independence, and its reach, will allow those events to have a wider reverberation around the world. Then the other aspect, which I think is incredibly important, the marketing of films, have become expensive and wide. And what I mean by that is many filmmakers or marketing companies are using a wide base of social media, Facebook, Instagram, and these sorts of things to reach an audience. But quite honestly, what they have to reach is the buyer, the acquisition executives. And the Film Verdict does that. And can you imagine, and this is what we hope, is that a film company on its way to, say, the Cannes film market or Berlin, the European film market, can now do a podcast and tell their story. I mean, sales is about stories. And we happen to be in the film industry, which is about stories. And yet there's no podcast that really appeals to sellers and buyers to be able to listen on the airplane as you're flying to the market, the slate of films that a film company is bringing to the market, and listen to the story. Listen to the director who's in the process of it. It could be pre-sales. So we think that the network, the Film Verdict Network, will appeal to the industry because it's very industry specific, which then has a wider ripple effect is when it's placed on the social media platforms and it reaches the consumer. So it begins to build a greater consumer awareness, all which is going to be very positive for the industry of the film and the filmmakers. And that's really why we're diving into this space. And thanks to your leadership, Matt, and I appreciate you inviting me onto the Showcast. I think we have a lot to learn. But I think we have a lot to offer to our friends in the international film community.
And with that, Eric, thank you for sharing your thoughts and for being on the Showcast. Well, thank you for joining us. And if you would like to know more about TFV Network and how we can help expand the reach of your event or project, feel free to reach out to us. Drop us a line at tfvnetwork@thefilmverdict.com or visit our website, filmverdictnetwork.com. Till the next time, this is Matt Micucci signing off. See you soon.